Okay, according to the text, this is an explicit detail question. Let's figure out what detail we want to capture. Why does Bill regularly ask about seafaring men? So we want to understand why, the purpose. Bill asks about the seafaring men. The following text is adapted from Robert Louis Stevenson's 1883 novel Treasure Island. Bill is a sailor staying at the Admiral Benbow, an inn run by the narrator's parents. Okay, so every day when Bill came back from his stroll, he would ask if any seafaring men had gone by along the road. At first, we thought it was the want of company of his own kind that made him ask this question, but at last, we began to see he was desirous to avoid them. So he's asking the question to avoid them. Okay, that's maybe about the reason why here. When a seaman did stay at the Admiral Benbow, as now and then some did, he would look in at him through the curtained door before he entered the parlor, and he was always sure to be as silent as a mouse when any such was present. Okay, the reason he's asking if seafaring men came by is because there's obviously one seafaring man he does not want to run into, right? And that's why he checks through the curtains to see if it's the one he doesn't want to run into. So he's trying to avoid them. He's hoping to find an old friend and fellow sailor. No, that's not it. He's trying to avoid somebody who is a seafaring man. He's trying to secure a job as part of. No, that's not it. He's trying to avoid somebody who is a seafaring man. He isn't sure that other guests at the inn will be welcoming as sailors. No, that's not it. He doesn't want to encounter any other sailor unexpectedly. Yes, that's it. Probably because he's avoiding some seafaring man. So a sailor would be something he doesn't want to be surprised by. D is the answer. Okay, we have a main idea question. The following text is adapted from Guy Maupassant's 19th century short story, The Trip of Lahore, translated by such and such. The narrator is part of a group traveling in a hot air balloon at night. The earth no longer seems to exist. It is buried in milky vapors that resemble a sea. We are now alone in space with the moon, which looks like another balloon traveling opposite us. And our balloon, which shines in the air, appears like another larger moon, a world wandering in the sky amid the stars through infinity. We no longer speak, think, nor live. We float along through space in delicious inertia. So what's the tone here and the attitude? This guy's overwhelmed. It's cool. And I imagine it would be taking a night balloon trip. Taking a balloon trip before, but at night, probably silent, totally cool, especially if there's a full moon out. The air which is bearing us up has made of us all beings which resemble itself, silent, joyous, irresponsible beings, peculiarly alert, although motionless. Can't really be motionless if they're bearing them up. They must be moving up. But anyway, that's the idea. So what's the main idea here is that the narrator is enjoying this delicious, joyous, silent experience of riding in a balloon at night, which must be fantastic. So, A, the narrator feels a growing sense of isolation. Nope, not about isolation, right? B, the narrator and his companions are completely absorbed in the change in perspective they gain while riding in the balloon. Well, he's definitely absorbed in it for sure, right? And he's getting this whole new perspective. The earth, we. Well, he is saying we, right? So this might be right. This is probably a pretty good answer. I'm going to check that and hold on to it while we check C and D. The narrator and his companions are troubled by the disoriented effect. No, that's not it at all. That's negative. This is all positive. The narrator is pleasantly surprised by his companion's unrestrained enthusiasm about the sensation. He's surprised. That would suggest he didn't think it would be as delicious and joyous and wonderful, that he thought something else. That's not the case at all here, actually. So the correct answer here is B. The narrator and his companions, the we, are completely absorbed in this new perspective. And it's definitely a new perspective. They talk about they're alone in space and milky vapors and so on. It's a very different perspective. So B is the right answer. 18, main idea. let's read the text. The recovery of a 1,000-year-old Chinese shipwreck in the Java Sea near present-day Indonesia has yielded a treasure trove of artifacts, including thousands of small ceramic bowls. Using a portable X-ray fluorescence analyzer tool, Lisa Niziolek and her team were able to detect the composition of these bowls without damaging them. By comparing the chemical signatures of the bowls with those of the materials still at old Chinese kiln sites, Niziolek and her team can pinpoint which Chinese kilns likely produced the bowls. That's kind of neat. So some of these sites might exist, and they find a 1,000-year-old shipwreck, so the bowls had to be at least 1,000 years old. They can actually pinpoint which kiln using this technique. So that's the main idea. They actually have a technique where they can actually learn the origin of these bowls. So, all right, kind of cool. Let's see which answer choice matches. Because of a new technology, yes. We don't know how new it is, but it's definitely relatively new. Modern times, that is. Researchers can locate and recover more shipwrecks. No, wrong object of the whole sentence. No, they can locate where the bowls were produced, right? A is not correct. B, researchers have been able to identify the location of a number of Chinese kilns in operation 1,000 years ago. No, that's not the idea. I mean, that's part of it, but that's not really the main idea. With the help of a special tool, that is the X-ray analyzer tool, researchers determined the likely origin of the bowls recovered from the shipwreck. That's exactly it, right? They are able to figure out where they were produced, the very kilns. That's your answer. Well, just quick check D. Before the invention of the portable X-ray, researchers needed to take we don't know what they did before the X-ray analyzer tool. C is the right answer.